LeBlanc into the Akali, which is a good matchup. Two tethered champions. So two champions that can actually make an Akali look vulnerable, and yet Akali has looked unbelievable power level-wise in recent moons. On this particular patch, I do not believe there were any Akali nerfs. They're coming in the future patch, but we're sticking locked on 9-16 for playoffs. Akali really damn strong right now, and I'm not even sure a couple of tethers will be enough.
Akali, just another champion that, with that kit, you just have to scale down her numbers. You have to take pieces of her kit out. And so far, they've done all of that, right? Has tried to take the power level down. But again, in game number 3 right now. Here we go, back onto the Rift this time around. It's one best of 5 for tonight, but as I was saying halfway through game 2, it just feels like SKT are so dominant here in the series. Looking even more dominant against Sandbox than they did against Akali. Afrika. And yeah, I mean, it really feels like they're running on all gears right now, and everything's turning and going really well for them. We'll see if they can keep it up to finish out the series, or if Sandbox is going to take one back.
I don't think SKT's looked this good since they were kind of rolling over Kingzone and Griffin in the playoffs of spring season. Even in their 9-match win streak, so many of those games were, we'll outscale you and not really have to put up much of a fight to do so. And yes, there were colors of that in the Kassadin pick in game number 2, but their level 1 plans, their mid-jungle synergy that was obviously fantastic at MSI and once again has looked really on point. Their willingness to have their mid laner roam rather than Faker's usual playstyle of being largely immobile in mid lane. Like, this has been SKT firing on all cylinders, and they've also played on both their tendencies and attacking the enemy's tendencies. So, really been a pleasure so far from SKT. Dove actually tanks that trade in pretty awful fashion, as he is half health for about 100 damage onto Faker.
Right after the 1 and 3 on the Blanc stat pops up underneath this mid lane, as Dove has a bunch of champions that he's great on, has winning ratios on here in summer, but LeBlanc is not one of them. But still wanted to try to shut down Faker. They said, maybe this is the way that we can win this one, but have to still wait to have them prove that to us.
Small buff to LeBlanc on this patch, 0.1 AP onto Q, so a bit more damage in the mid-game is kind of your takeaway there. Is a frustrating matchup for the Akali, as we can tell very clearly, and not even the Shroud is going to really change too much of it because the Tether does have that reveal if it does lie. So in the early game, pretty easy to be able to blow a flash here, but this is a great lane state for Faker because he's actually under no threat of tether into Lee Sin kill. He's happy enough to have the minion wave stay under turret until he gets a little bit going in terms of some levels and some items.
Minion dematerializer in the bottom lane. You don't see that every day. Effort just wants to make sure that he can secure some of these cannons for his bottom laner in Teddy.
Like this, in series like this, make you wonder how SKT have been so swingy this year. 1-5 start into the recent losing streak that caused them to lose what seemed like a vice grip on first place. It seemed like SKT would cruise into the grand final, which will be played next Saturday, 8 days from now at the Korea University Tiger Dome. But that didn't go that way, right? They dropped those series, one against Halma Life, the other one against Damwon, and things got more tricky. They're looking to become the second team after themselves 2 years ago to run this entire gauntlet. That's Faker. He's dead.
Getting in there, and he is going to pick up that first blood. Once again, just really trying to bait a little bit too hard. It happened in game number 1 up against the Talia where he gave first blood to Dove, and it'll happen again here in game 3 as Dove keeping his cool and picking up the first blood.
Yeah, it was really easy. The moment the tether went down, it was always going to be a kill to Dove. Why would Faker be so far up as teleport Akali? Seems a little bit silly, but like you say, it does flow on to one of the few criticisms we'd have of this series. A couple of solo kills have gone the way of Dove against Faker. Now here's Clid, and he's also been very on point. This is harder to pull off. It is Karma with Flash.
Just gonna flash there, and Clid slowed down too much from the Magic Q, so can't quite follow Flash. They wouldn't have enough damage to get on in there and make sure the kill happens. So, yeah, it's Faker trying too hard to bait a little bit, and he gets caught out twice. That's been a recurring unfortunate theme for him.
Because the question always has to be why, right? And his jungler is topside, and yes, he's trying to bait for his jungler, but it feels like he doesn't. You know, the amount of distance away from his jungler there is too much, and I think that was the same case on the other side of the map in the previous game. So it does seem like a bit of a disconnect there. Been great at backing up his jungler, but the timings when it comes to those mid lane ganks have been off.
Yeah, which is interesting, especially because Faker and Clid have been having some pretty good communication of recent times, but fortunately not so far in a couple of the plays. I think that's more Faker's fault than Clid's. But either way, early Ocean Drake here at 540 is going to go down to Sandbox, as taking a nice little trade here is the Aatrox. But again, it's just the Karma who's stacking up the gold and the items.
Do you wince more at the Qs registering or all the inevitable auto-attack kleptomancies that a Karma will get after the 3 Qs are done? Which one are you on? I feel like
it's the autos for me.
It's also the autos
sure.
for me. It's weird because some people are like, wow, Aatrox does so much, and I'm just like, oh, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
It's so annoying to be auto-attacked and your gold jacked from your pocket.
Yeah. But you can't just sit there and not do anything as the Aatrox, or else the Karma will just move forward and auto-attack you more. And then, you know,
damned if you do.
Yeah. She'll get 6 procs of the Klepto, and then their Q will come back off, cool down, and she'll do it again.
Oh, Dove is actually quite a lot of CS behind in the way the matchup has gone, and not going to be as important because he got the kill, but it definitely stops him from having a big snowball lead here. This has largely been because the minion wave has been in a really awkward spot, largely frozen, next to the, I guess, torches you would see on the corners of the wall there. Here's Summit. He's Karma.
Yeah. He's not really going to die. You only die if you make a gigantic mistake as the Karma. Or you just get totally outplayed.
You get low, but yeah, it's the actual mortal tick where you're like, how did that happen?
He has 2 biscuits. Like, he's totally fine.
Biscuits were changed on this patch. You get the first one at 2 minutes. As, well, the ult pops, so they're going for this one. It's a combo play.
Heather's going to come down, and, well, he just got straight up killed as the flash was down from Summit. And all that talk about a big mess up and not being able to die, Summit proves us wrong as he just goes down in the solo kill in the top lane.
We didn't see that coming. The death was assured because Elise was topside with flash up, and yet we were surprised. So we'll accept our surprise. Big moment for Kana. Kana's been on this series. You know, he's been really good so far. As OnFleet tries to brawl, he's a level up.
And now you're over the wall here with Faker in your face, and now you're going 1v3. Okay, that's going to go down. The cocoon onto the LeBlanc is actually perfect, and Clid able to flash to safety, just styling on them right now.
How does he get out with so much class, Valdez? It's so clean. From the SKT jungler, Faker even gets to red buff trade with Dove.
Oh, boy.
My 3-0 senses, to say they were tingling would not be correct. This is much more of a emergency alert as we get in Korea.
Yeah, you know, your phone's blowing up right now.
I know in North America they have emergency alerts and it's a new thing, but in Korea it's like, it's too hot outside. Your phone is now going to be vibrating for an hour.
It's a very windy day. You might want to take it easy. You stay inside. Summit might just die again. The cocoon is going to go wide, but they have the damage to do it as it's Elise, the best diving jungler in the game. If not, then she's top 2 because Easy Dive is going to come in, and a kill goes down onto Summit, who was forced to pick that Karma into the top lane again, and once again is not finding much luck in this game.
Tether hits. They don't have kick here, though.
Oh, but that is going to land, though, as the flash away from Faker. But does OnFleek have enough damage? No! The one last turret shot is going to kill him. And that is going to be a hide-your-face and embarrassment moment to the side of Sandbox as Faker gets away again.
I think OnFlake baited his teammate there because he didn't have kicks. They didn't have the damage to pick up the kill. That's why my head was in my hands, because I saw it coming. OnFlake a couple of seconds away still from being able to pick up, and with red buff. Faker sticks around and...
trying to trade it back, and he will!
Wow, and look at the death animations. They were perfect!
Just lie down right beside each other there as they'll both take a small little rest after that one. Faker lands the shuriken and makes sure he can at least get the trade back.
Oh, we're going back all the way to this. Was the dive or was the solo kill? No, that was a solo kill. Nicely done by Khan. And from here, OnFlake had the level lead. And that's why he chose to get in and brawl. Opened with kick, understood, but watch Kurt's escape here. It's quite delightful how things go. Obviously, he gets the big help, but the cocoon fortuitously lands on Dove, but then flashing over and avoiding the chains is the skill part of it. This wasn't the end of all the fighting, though, as OnFlake, this is such a Lee Syndrome moment, because this play is perfect if kick is up, but when kick is down, it's harder. I guess we fought again.
Dove here in live. Looks like he's having a bit of trouble. Is able to get back, but Faker's right there. Down you will go, Cutlass to the death. As 3-on-1, not exactly fair. And now they've got another kill here, potentially, onto Joker. As he is going to try to get away, but that Ignite is ticking. He's going to live with the flash and an ultimate, plus heal, just to get away from that one.
Mid lane, we're seeing more brawling.
OnFlake, just the most tilting series in games so far. Can he pick up the kill is the question. The Q is going to miss, and he cannot get it. And now effort with the Moby boots, just going to flash on in, and you will get swiped and taken out.
Sometimes it's not your day, Valdez, and that's the truth for Sandbox Gaming is,
oh boy,
Summit potentially. It's going to be solo killed again, but never more apparent than on OnFlake, who is the Charlie Brown of this story. Nothing can go his way. Everywhere he goes, it's the opposite of the Midas touch. Everything falling apart for Sandbox Gaming. I'm sure everyone feels that same sinking feeling, or maybe the elating feeling, if you're an SKT fan.
Absolutely. OnFlake. Game number 1, it was all right. You know, it wasn't like a huge blemish on his career or anything. Game number 2, gets outplayed again. Game number 3, just the least, the worst of them all, unfortunately, as this is going to be another one. As you go in, you kick here, and you get out alive.
Yeah.
But no kick means you die.
Definitely the big bait here, but this was the awesome moment, and I love the death animation. I hope we get the full zoom. Come on, Riot Games, one time. As the red buff was why he stuck around. And you're like, oh, Faker, his Ignite's up. This is really risky. And it was, but he understood what could happen. He goes all in, and look at the death animations. Perfect. Reaching for her leg as she goes into the death chamber. This is what we missed, actually, through our last attempt at replays. How dare you?
It's a nice try, but fortunately they have 0 vision in the bottom side river. Count them, guys, 0. And they still don't. Finally, Joker's
all right, this is
getting
live.
in there.
I wasn't clear.
We live in the past here in the LCK sometimes with all the replays. As Dove, or not Dove, Summit in a bit of trouble here.
No!
Oh, that flash was
flash,
a little
why?
bit too late. As now Khan, he's going to be hiding his face in a bit of embarrassment there. I think that would have been just the kill with the flash Q and maybe an auto to finish her off, but does not happen.
If I'm the SKT coach, if I'm Coma, I roll in afterwards. And let's watch some clips to really remember this series. One of them is Khan messing up his Q flash. That's your lighter moment of the series. That was bad. But you know what? You get one. You know, you get one.
Sometimes you just can't flash at the right moment.
Oh no, you don't get that one. No, you shut up, Valdez. You don't get to talk for a while now.
All right. Well, go ahead then with your solo cast, Papa.
Well, I mean, honestly, usually in a best-of-5 playoffs match, you're going to see a deep teleport here. I'll have to narrate this analysis. Khan is here. He wants some kills. Summoner's up on Ghost, not going to matter. Joker runs away. Can they make the grand escape here? The answer is yes.
No flash there for Khan, as unfortunately he wasn't able to get on in there. And now Summit is pretty much all alone. Dove left him for dead. As 2-on-2, they were never going to win that trade. And SKT, once again, feels like they're playing with their food, diving in the bottom lane now. No Feather Storm, down goes one, down goes another.
On Fleek's here!
On Fleek. Well, this is kind of cute. I'm not sure exactly what the idea is as you're down 3 levels. Even with the challenging smite, you are not going to win this trade. As Rift Herald's in mid, and SKT fans can sit back, clasp their hands behind their head, cross one foot over the knee, and lean back and kind of enjoy what looks to be a 3-0.
One of those game states that's hard to lose, you know? Like, it's different to game number 2, and yet it feels the same. And what I was getting to when I was going to, get you to shut up and chastise you is not often in games like this can you have the lighter moments. Usually it's high-octane action. For game number 1 especially, it was a really close game. But isn't it interesting how halfway through game 3, it does feel a bit like we're watching an exhibition match from the Harlem Globetrotters. And if you were going to choose a squad to represent that over the course of 10 years, it would have to be SKT, right? But
so good.
This is very much great players having a day out and the enemy team not having too many chances.
Oh, Zaya died.
Oh, another solo kill.
Oh, what a surprise.
It really does feel like we're having a bit of fun here. On the side of SKT.
This is playoffs, by the way. We're in best of 5 territory, remember, guys? Doesn't really feel like that in this game.
We're just kind of waiting for what YouTube montage moments can happen. We don't need analysis anymore. We can both be play-by-plays.
That's fun.
And for, I guess, 80% of the audience, because, of course, we know how skewed this is towards SK Telecom. For Sandbox, it's sad, because it's been a really great year from them. When they came into the league, they were the rampant favorites to finish 10th, because they had no players anyone had really heard of. We just assumed they would be a fodder team. It's been a really proud 2019 for them. They've overachieved in a big way to finish top 3, top 5, and yet they're going to have to kind of take a few lumps from this series and also potentially find a way to backdoor the world. It's not impossible from them. They will be playing. I believe it's already locked in that they'll be playing in the second best of 5. It will be Afrika King Zone as the first best of 5. Winner plays Sandbox, and then it's Dumb One Gaming or SK Telecom. The remaining teams to be the final boss. So that's locked in. Don't let it distract from a great year, but it's not a great day.
It's going to be one they're going to try to forget, but hopefully a lot to learn from this one as we're watching, again, Summit die over and over on Karma. Just feels like bullying at this point, but again, we have Clid rotating, and we're 2-on-1ing the poor Karma that's so far behind, even more so in this game, 0-4. Sandbox looking to take out their first turret, but it just doesn't matter as they're down 5,000 gold here, plus at 17.5 minutes. SKT looking to take down a tier 2 turret even, perhaps.
The moment Aatrox is solo killing people on this patch on 9.16 and Akalia 6 kills, you have no lane assignment options. And it's the sort of draft where the moment you get Akalia and Aatrox, surely something had to go wrong. And the reason why I was sitting there with Kankui, again, one of the Korean analysts, trying to make sense of Sandbox choosing blue side is we know what Sandbox provide. They've got a great Draven player. We know how they like to play the game. They've got a great Akali player. What was known was clear, but that didn't justify choosing blue side and not getting counter picks. And so we were sitting there going, what is the super pick? What is the sexy pick they have to make us a believer of the blue side choice? And sadly, from game 1 and 2, the answer was they didn't have one, and it was Sandbox. More is what it is on paper, i.e. the squad that just got promoted this year, that has made it to a best of 5, congratulations for you, rather than Sandbox is this really intelligent team that could potentially do a number on SKT in a best of 5. We couldn't know until we saw it, but sadly the result is that Sandbox didn't have any joker picks, any surprising picks, and SKT have read them like a book, and it's been nice to watch on their side, but sadly not a lot to talk about on the Sandbox side.
Yeah, especially in this game, as it's 12-2. All the numbers, obviously, in SKT's favor. And, well, Faker's just going to dodge everything, and now we're looking for more damage, as now it absolutely does feel like a solo queue game, as we're just bursting people down 100-0 like it's nothing. It is
he hit it!
Oh, boy.
Beautiful.
Effort's like, this is my time to shine.
Effort's like, I want to keep my flash. And he did. Nicely done, Effort.
I want to add some good highlights.
That was a VAC moment for him. How many other esports can we reference in this cast?
Well,
Khan, that's not your base.
He's trying to slam
not your
dunk
base.
here in the backside. As, we're just diving. Teddy is going to pick up the kill. Khan is going to play bodyguard here.
Khan, that's their base.
Can he go 1v2 here?
Yes.
Yeah, he absolutely can. And now he's got his entire team behind him. And down will go on Fleek, and whoever the hell this is. Shall we start the Yakety Sax again? This time it's SKT running, though, as everybody's in the base of Sandbox. And Effort's going to die. Summit, okay, thank you for resetting the kill counter. Now you're worth gold again, says SKT. And, yeah, well, we're just really smurfing in this game at this point.
Oh, yeah. This is hard to watch, and yet we'll just have fun and laugh about it, Valdez. That's what we've got.
Yeah.
Gonna keep the enjoyment level high.
Typical LCK style.
I mean, it's 20 kills in 20 minutes. This is typical LPL style. In this particular one, getting flexed on. At this point, Sandbox are like, maybe I can get a kill or a montage play myself. Maybe a KDA can be changed. That's really all you've got going for it. There's so many different nuclear weapons. Look at this VAC moment, though. Beautiful.
Oh,
that's a headshot right there.
Played right into it, too.
And then Khan decided that they don't even get a base. He's so cruel. What a hard taskmaster. They don't have Raptor camps. They don't have jungle camps. They don't even have a base if Khan and Teddy are to be believed.
Flashing inside their base. And even with on-fleek spawning, Khan is level 13. Effort here.
Who's trapped with who?
Not sure about this one, but he's going to live for just a moment longer. And now Sandbox are trapped in with SKT. Absolutely.
Get the boss plan. Oh, he got there.
Yeah, he did. He's not getting away, though. As Teddy, what's going on, buddy? Trying to go 1v2.
I think we're having too much fun, SKT.
Yeah, Dove actually did get away. They let him go up to the top side as rotations coming in, and now we're swapping parts of the map. SKT are now on red side. So you might want to flip over your monitors, guys, as Khan coming on down from the north.
Oh my god, he killed him with a Q! That was a human form Q assassination.
Followed him all the way down. Thought
the
he was
Yakety
getting
Sax
away.
music is back.
Yeah, here we go again.
Summit has been playing a single-player RPG during this series.
Effort's going to join up and help out the Aatrox. It's happening on the mini-map here.
What single-player game does it feel like Summit's playing? I want to say Stardew Valley. He's a farmer.
A farm?
Yeah. He's trying. He's trying to tend to his farm, but it's getting invaded by dastardly
I feel like
SKT
he's playing
foes.
Metal Gear Solid or something. He's trying to run away so
big
hard.
value stasis there.
He's trying to stealth away from the enemy guards, but he can't. He gets caught every single time. And down he goes again. Poor Summit, man. Put on Karma twice in a row, and this happens twice. Got a feel for them. Although I'm sure the SKT fans are just basking in the glory right now.
The afterglow is so real.
Yeah. Baker's like, no, that's mine. Ghost, you thought you could kill me. He's still in the shroud here. It's like no perfect execution for just a moment as in comes Teddy.
Uh-oh, Aatrox.
Oh! Yeah, you're dead. And Joker here, no flash for the Aatrox, so he might actually win, or live, rather. As Joker is going to get the stopwatch out of Teddy. And we really are just playing with our food. They left the rest of them to kill the Baron while the other guys are just playing around, trying to kill the enemy.
Another VAC.
Now we're getting a kill now as in goes Baker, going 1v2. He finds a weak Gazelle on the top side of the map. The guy who's been running the entire game continues to run.
I wish we had the player cams on. Surely all 10 players are smiling at this point, right? Oh!
Oh, he lives. And, yeah, there you go. Now, is it VAC or is it back? I thought it was back.
I just called a VAC
I don't actually know
what
the
that
V
stand for. That's a interesting point. Stands for Valve, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I thought it was Valdez.
Hey!
There you go.
VAC is almost Valdez's chance.
It kind of is. Just extend the Valdez to VA. And then see.
Well,
there you go.
I'd love to extend the Valdez to 5 games, but I don't think we'll be extending the Valdez to 5 games today.
Not today. There will be opportunities in the future, for sure. But this is not that day. As Effort, he did die in the end, but it was a noble death. As he almost lived, actually. The LeBlanc had to get in there and put a Q down. Not a lot of other people did, though.
No, it wasn't that kind of day. Teddy decided to 1v2, because why not?
Ghost actually baited him. He's like, you want to go? You want to go? And then he called in his big buddy.
I believe Summit was envisioned, though, before he pressed R, and yet he was like, why not?
Yeah.
What's this human form Q, though? I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Oh, no, it's a spider.
Oh, spider.
Yeah.
There you go. We learned something today.
Spider can actually, it follows a path that you declare for a while. And then it follows whatever's nearest.
Do you remember all the words to Itsy Bitsy Spider?
Yeah.
Is that a normal thing? Do young kids today know all the words to Itsy Bitsy Spider? I'm not sure if...
What did you say?
Itsy Bitsy Spider.
That's not what you said the second time, but I'm gonna leave it at that. As I don't know. There's they like that Baby Shark song nowadays. Baby Shark, do-do-do-do-do. In goes the Leona.
That's not a baby shark. That's a real shark.
That's the Grandpa Shark coming on in as well. That's a nice Feather Storm, buddy, but you're going to go down too. That's the full ace, and it looks like SKT have bought themselves a ticket to the next round of the playoffs.
Hard to disagree with that, Valdez. It was a demolition in Game 2. 30 kills in 25 minutes, and that's just from SKT.
That is unbelievable. SKT put the boot down, and they stomp Sandbox into the dust. 3-0, and they say, Dom 1, come at us, bros.